Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
Yes, he is.
And coming up today, Roman Reigns' attacker was revealed last night on SmackDown Live, and it's not who you might think.
Ronda Rousey has suffered a horror injury away from the ring.
And a huge championship match has been announced for Clash of Champions. This is the news.
But first, 205 Live, like Hulk Hogan, has been cancelled. Not really, that's not actually what's happened, I just fancied being a bellend. Basically what we have here is a story from good old Uncle Dave Meltzer, your swole wrestling journalist man, who has come through with the news that when SmackDown moves to Fox in October, the 4th of October, the first show, WWE plan on moving to a 3-hour taping schedule. And this could mean a number of different things. So at the moment we have a situation where 205 Live is taped at the same time as SmackDown. It's a 3-hour taping schedule, same kind of thing. But there could be some big changes here because SmackDown apparently is going to stay 2 hours. For now, that might change if WWE sends the opportunity to earn more ad revenue.
Please no.
Yeah, exactly. And with that third hour, well, it remains to be seen what they're going to do. There's actually talk that WWE will use the extra hour for either in-ring content, for network content, or for a new show entirely for FS1, which would tie in nicely with the past couple of months of rumors that they're going to have some kind of talk-in show with Renee Young and Jerry Lawler and all this other cool stuff. But there's also talk that this change in the move from Tuesday to Friday could result in 205 Live just being binned off. Because according to Dave, a number of WWE higher-up officials see the Cruiserweight show as a failed experiment. It's one hell of an experiment. It's lasted like 2.5 years or 3 years or whatever. And yeah, it might just be binned off entirely, which is interesting news. It's mixed news because if you watch the show, you know that it's not exactly received with the loudest, the most enthusiastic audience. It's a very muted affair unless there's an absolute banger match that kind of wakes people up from their slumber. A lot of people don't even hang around to watch it. But on the plus side, obviously, it's a chance for guys like Oney Lorcan and Drew Gulak and Umberto Carrillo and all these really talented people to do cool stuff on TV, and it's actually really well booked and it has a lot of really good matches. The problem is, it doesn't do numbers, so...
Yeah, I can understand why WWE might be doing this, but I'd be hugely, hugely disappointed because, like you say, there's some phenomenally talented people over on 205 Live. Aiden English, of course, on commentary as well. Vic Joseph,
yeah,
doing some great stuff. But like the guys you mentioned there, and we wouldn't have had guys like Buddy Murphy or Ali or people like that on the main roster if it hadn't been for 205 Live. Granted, they have different developmental systems within WWE, and I've been at a SmackDown Live show when they've been doing 205 Live, and they always say, "Please stick around. We'll put on a good match at the end to make it all worth it." But yeah, there's not a lot of fan investment in it.
There isn't, and the thing about 205 Live these days is it doesn't really even have the draw of being a flippity-doo-dah show it maybe used to. And that's fine because I really enjoy guys like Drew Gulak stretching fellas on the mat and stuff, but it's the volume of traditional cruiserweight wrestlers is a lot lower, despite everyone on the show obviously fitting the weight class. It's in a really weird place. I wonder if perhaps they might take 205 Live and maybe absorb it into NXT now that it's 2 hours.
Either that or, if they do eventually lead SmackDown to 3 hours, then implementing that as part of it and giving those guys a showcase would be really, really good. But yeah, it'd be a shame if that happened.
It would be a shame. Again, the main losers are going to be men who might not be able to get on TV as much. So here's hoping that whatever happens, those Carrillos, those Lorcans, those Gulaks still find ways to get on TV because they're all really talented. The word.
Yeah. We should talk very quickly about what happened with NXT yesterday. Huge announcement, as we all expected. It's been announced it is going to go to 2 hours of TV on the USA Network on Wednesdays from sort of mid-September. More and more details coming out, which we'll report on as and when we get them. Mauro Ranallo is definitely going to stick around and do commentary, and there are claims that Vince McMahon won't be that involved.
Lol.
What do you think about the future for NXT?
I think that there is something to be said about setting yourself up for failure by saying that it's going to be crap and it's going to be ruined and all this stuff, but I do think that that's the earned take at the moment. I will look forward to it cautiously because NXT has been WWE's best booked and most consistent weekly show for years and years and years. I'm just a little bit worried that we're going to lose the magic of what NXT was, and to me that was always watching up-and-comers progressing through the system. People like Bayley back in the day, Johnny Gargano, currently Bianca Belair. I think following her progress has been really rewarding. Damien Priest, sexy Baron Corbin, people like that. That's the appeal, and I think that might be lost if we go to network TV and we end up with all these main roster people coming down. But we'll see. Let's look forward to it and let's hope the best.
Yeah, I mean, we've sat here and been very optimistic about AEW before anything really happened with them on TV, so let's give NXT a chance.
Let's do it.
I'm just slightly worried that a 2-hour show may overexpose it and lose that special feel that NXT has, but we'll be positive for now. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to listen to the news when you're out and about on the go, you can listen to it as a podcast by searching for WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. But we move on to last night's SmackDown Live and the revelation of Roman Reigns' attacker, who looks like this. Yeah, I don't know who that is either. It's like Eric Rowan's dad.
It's Rowan's dad, it's budget dollar store Kerry King and Steve Von Till of Neurosis all at the same time.
So last night on SmackDown Live, not only did we have an absolute banger of a match between Buddy Murphy and Daniel Bryan, which Buddy Murphy won. Congratulations to him.
Tremendous.
Daniel Bryan yet and again putting guys over and making them look phenomenal in the process. But yes, right at the very end of the show, just after Shane McMahon screwed Kevin Owens out of King of the Ring, which we all kind of anticipated was going to happen, we went backstage. There was a guy who'd had a bag on his head for the entire show, and they pulled it off to reveal, well, a sort of wonky, what's it called? The sort of Hall of Mirrors image of Eric Rowan, basically.
Yeah.
And they're trying to claim that Roman Reigns accusing Eric Rowan of attacking him, and certainly Buddy Murphy implicating him in all that, was a simple case of mistaken identity.
You know what that guy is to Eric Rowan? He's what this action figure is to Brock Lesnar, the one we featured the other day, the one that looks like bloody Ivan Drago. Yeah, this was a really weird angle. Like, they were all just, the show closed with it, and they were all just kind of standing around like, at the end of the night.
Always good to end your show on complete confusion.
Yeah, it was weird. I will say I'm really glad that WWE actually delivered some kind of development, because recently the trend seems to be, hey, we're going to do a thing, and then the thing just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
and
Daniel Bryan's announcement.
Yeah, and then we're all kind of annoyed, and it's weird and stuff, but you know, let's see where it goes again. Like, maybe something cool's going to happen. I think at the end of the day, the end result is probably still Reigns versus Bryan, right?
They still got me hooked.
Yeah.
That was what I was demonstrating there.
I was like, well, finger in his mouth. Weird move.
Speaking of fingers.
Speaking of fingering, it sounds like Ronda Rousey's impregnation vacation has gone horrendously wrong. Because, my God, just take a look at this goddamn picture. God. What the hell? What is going on with Ronda Rousey's finger? Well, guess what? Unfortunately, she suffered this horrendous injury while filming a TV show called 911 for Fox in Mexico just a few days ago. And she broke the news on her Instagram account. I lost my breakfast when I saw this for the first time. I'm well aware that we've probably used this for the thumbnail, so I apologise. You've seen it like 3 times now. Go and put it on the screen again, please, dear editor. There we go. Look at that thing. It's absolutely horrendous. So she posted this picture accompanied with a big explanation here. I'll just read some choice cuts from it. She said, "So the word is out, I nearly lost my finger. Freak accident, first take of the day, a boat door fell on my hand.
Oh!
I thought I had just jammed my fingers. After a break in the action, I told our director the situation and was rushed via ambulance to the hospital, where they promptly reattached my bone and tendon with plate and screw." She finished the take, which is badass.
Yeah, this is the thing. The boat door falling on you is one thing, and it makes me wince, and I feel a little bit sick, to be perfectly honest. But read that again. After a break in the action. Hi guys, sorry to interrupt, but my finger's hanging off. What?
It's bloody mental. Like,
she's so hard.
She's ridiculously hard. She's also said that she's back home already and she's regained 50% of motion in a finger that was hanging off the other. How's that even possible? She's not made of goddamn Lego. Lego isn't flexible, but still, Ronda Rousey is made of granite.
Yeah, you're an absolute monster, Ronda Rousey, and I never want to see that image again in my life.
Yeah, I tell you what, if this image doesn't get like 200k, I'm gonna be upset.
Have you ever nearly lost a finger?
No, I haven't.
I have. Look, you see there? Nearly sliced my entire little finger
wow,
off
yeah.
there.
There's a proper little...
Yeah. Oh, good. Don't mess about, kids.
Don't find
Right, let's move on to our final story of the day. A very brief one, this, in fact, because it was announced last night, or as a subsequent to a challenge on a moment of bliss. It has been announced that we are going to get Bayley versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Clash of Champions. Of course, all the titles will be on the line at Clash of the Champions. That is basically the only confirmed match for Clash of Champions so far. That and the final of the King of the Ring tournament. But it's a match that we all kind of want to see now. Bayley versus Ember Moon, we had high hopes for. It's sort of disappointed. And you can't keep Charlotte circling the title forever. She needs to get back in that title picture, and we know that those two are going to have an absolute banger.
She's the ace of the division. It makes sense to throw her in the title scene at any point. A lot of people, don't like Charlotte being constantly in this position and stuff, but I think she's one of the best performers in the whole company, regardless of gender. I think she's brilliant. I think it's going to be an awesome match. The cool thing about this, I think, as well, is that at Clash of Champions, we're probably getting all 4 horsewomen in singles titles matches, and that's just really a nice piece of symmetry, and I'm really looking forward to it.
A little bit more on that when we get to your Twitter questions, but very, very quickly, just to sneak this in, just a tiny piece of news, CM Punk's going to be wrestling in AEW. It's basically going to happen, isn't it? Yesterday, Cody Rhodes tweeted, "Cut people out of your life and work, life is too short," and CM Punk responded with the Cody Rhodes GIF, which basically means, confirmed, CM Punk not only will be at All Out, he's going to be wrestling.
Yeah, confirmed. Heard it here first.
Let us know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. We'll move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE, of course, if you want to get in touch with us. Ernesto Gonzalez starts us off, who says, "Do you think WWE should have created a women's singles secondary title before or instead of the tag titles?"
Yeah, I wasn't generally in a lot of favour for the tag titles because I thought the division was a little bit thin, but the news that they were going to spread it around NXT and all this stuff kind of eased that.
Oh yeah, that's gone well, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's happened so many times. But yeah, maybe a singles title would have made more sense because obviously for tag matches you need twice as many wrestlers. That means that theoretically the division would be half as thin. And it would give people like Dana Brooke and Ember Moon and maybe not Alicia Fox because she's up to bad stuff. Yeah, the real shooter, Sonya Deville. Get them involved. I think it'd be cool.
I think it would have been the right decision ahead of the tag titles. Of course, they were made to feel so important by, of course, the Iconics. I can't remember who held them before that. But yeah, I agree. A secondary title as a sort of stepping stone to greatness, as it used to be with the IC title, for example, in the men's division, would have been far, far preferable. Andrew Erblack gives us our second question of the day. He says, "Do you think WWE will try and get NXT on a UK-based channel, what with AEW on ITV?"
Yeah, that would be a very WWE move. I can absolutely see them trying to throw it on BT Sport 2 at 4 in the morning or, 1 in the morning, whatever time AEW's on. Absolutely, 100%. I would be surprised if that didn't happen.
He continues, by the way. Andrew Erblack asks, "Australia's only got one cable service, which is pre-existing partnerships with Fox and WWE Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views. They're all bloody live, mate." He says, "Should AEW try and get a free TV channel to try and get a foothold here?" You blaming galah.
Yes.
Final question today comes from Marcus Hammond, who says, "What do you think of Banks versus Lynch and Bayley versus Flair running through these next couple of months, leading to a Shield/Nexus style interference by MMA 4 horsewomen in both feuds matches, bringing Rousey back for Survivor Series?"
Absolutely tremendous way to start the angle. I think it would be a hot match. I think it's a great build. It's a great idea. The one thing that gives me pause, as we always say with these horsewoman versus horsewoman things, is that Shafir and Duke are not ready. They've only wrestled a handful of matches between them on TV, probably a couple dozen each in their career. I don't have the cage match data with me, obviously. Putting them on pay-per-view is a huge risk at
especially
this point.
with that sort of hype around that sort of match. And the only other thing that gives me pause is Ronda Rousey's finger might still be hanging off. So let's just temper expectations. Let her get this back. Let her get her impregnation vacation back, and then we can maybe move on from there.
She needs ET, doesn't she?
Let's move on to today's and finally, and a lot of people were tweeting this to us yesterday, and it's been suggested by our very own Ben Roy Turner for today's and finally, because Chris Jericho tweeting, as literally every wrestler in the world did yesterday, about NXT, of course, being announced as a new live show on the USA Network. He tweeted, "By the way, NXT on USA Network, #industry changer, #you're welcome." William Regal did not stand for this.
No, he didn't.
The whole stream of tweets is well worth checking out in and of itself, but I'm just going to read this one out from William Regal. It says, "Yes, thank you, Chris, From us being both on NXT in 2010 until today, being a mentor, announcer, and GM, NXT has given huge opportunities for many talent who would never have got a chance before to be real game changers. And it's all down to you. Thank you so much.
It's just gloriously sarcastic, that, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. NXT's dad comes through once again. I love Chris Jericho's gimmick of just taking credit for everything. It's wonderful. But I love William Regal, man.
Yeah.
That's just a good shoot,
If you don't like William Regal, chances are we don't care for you as a person.
Yeah, I probably can't be friends. So.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories, especially the old finger stuff, in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And send us Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there. Follow both of us. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for hoof. Jesus.
You can follow me. The light's hanging off now. You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. You can follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching. Get well soon, Ronda. And we will see you soon.
Wish I hadn't done that.